Hey guys, what's up? MMA Savant here. I'm just going to do the predictions for the UFC Fight Night Johnson versus Bader card. So that's the main event. We have Josh Barnett taking on Big Ben Rothwell as the co-main event. I'm going to give you the who and the how like always. And so let's get this started. I'm going to do the main card, and then I'm going to do a few from the undercard. I'm not going to do all of them. So without any further ado, let's get this started. Let me just make a quick adjustment on my camera here so I can fix fix the thing here. I want to be professional. Okay, right there. Okay, so here we go. Let's kick it off with let's go this one here. We have Kevin Casey is taking on Rafael Natal. Both are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts, but only one of these guys has any striking power. Kevin Casey is a black belt under Rickson Gracie, and Natal is a longtime black belt with a lot of wins and everything by submission, a lot of competition experience. But two black belts, well, one guy has better striking. I'm going to give it to Natal. Probably decision, but look for a finish in the third round. Next, we have Olivieri Oban Mercier is taking on the Brazilian out of Texas, Carlos Diego Ferreira. A lot of people are picking Mercier, and I don't understand why. If Mercier had a great striking game, I could see it, but he really doesn't. So you have a brown belt in Mercier is taking on a third-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Okay. He works over there with Alliance. I'm sorry, Atos Gym. And I don't know if Barberena gave him his black belt, but I know he spent a lot of time with him. For those who don't know who Barberena is, he's Rubens Charles. He's top 10 in any best of list at his at the smaller weight classes. Anyway, so I won't talk about him for too long. But Carlos Diego Ferreira. Now, not only do I think he wins this match, which I'm dubbing the poor man's Damian Maia versus Gunnar Nelson. Not technically, but whatever. I say that Ferreira submits Mercier, or wins by decision. But I'm looking towards the submission. For those of you who don't know who he is, check him out. He's the one that put Colton Smith out. He tapped him out in like 30 seconds. I know Colton Smith ain't nobody anymore, but just saying. Plus he's got wins over Macaco and grappling and everything. Who's in a whole nother thing we'll talk about sometime in a different video. Okay, moving on. Jake Ellenberger, the Juggernaut. He ain't what he used to be. He's taking on Tarec Saffiedine out of Belgium. Tarec Saffiedine will not have to deal with the wrestling of Jake Ellenberger because Tarec Saffiedine has been at Team Quest for almost like 8 or 9 years now. So he's getting top quality wrestling over there with Hendo and everybody out of Temecula. Look for Tarec to stop Jake Ellenberger by having more composure, less pressure on him, but look for him to stop Jake Ellenberger in the third round. I think Jake's time is up. He could have a resurgence, but he would have to leave the UFC, build up his confidence with a couple wins against up-and-coming guys, and then make it back in there. Nothing wrong with that. It's just I think Jake Ellenberger's time in the UFC, his best days are behind him. Okay. Now we have Super Sage Northcutt who's taking on Brian Barberena. This fight is at 170, and I believe Sage Northcutt is making the switch to 170. He is 6 foot tall, so I don't know. I just it might be permanent, it might not be. Anyway, so Sage Northcutt was supposed to fight Andrew Holbrook, and after looking at the records and after seeing the grappling of Sage against Cody Pfister, I was gonna give the win to or the pick to Holbrook. But Holbrook, for some reason, he got injured or whatever, but he's out of the fight. So with that being said, I looked at Brian Barberena's record. It's good, but I feel like this is the easiest fight for Sage. I'm going to say Sage Northcutt stops him late in the first, early in the second round. Okay, moving on. You have Jimmy Rivera, 18-1, is taking on Yuri Alcantara. Jimmy Rivera hasn't faced the level of people that Alcantara has, and he lost to Frankie Saenz by decision. He lost to Uriah Faber by decision, but he looked very good against Uriah Faber in the first round. Yuri Alcantara does have losses, but they're against good guys. He's got too much cage experience. Jimmy Rivera after this fight will be 18-2. He'll put another loss on his record. I'm going to give it to Yuri Alcantara. Don't know how, but look for him to get the job done. He's taller, more experience, better reach, more cage time. So Alcantara by something. Decision probably. Okay, this fight here is Josh Barnett, the War Master, the babyface assassin. Part of me goes, don't be stupid, pick Barnett. He's got more ways to win. But then the other part of me goes, Barnett's already put in his 2 weeks notice. He's talked about doing movies. He doesn't really care about this fight. It's just a paycheck for him. Ben Rothwell is not on a tear by definition. He knocked out Alistair Overeem. He submitted Matt Mitrione with a go-go choke. And he was supposed to fight Stipe, but that fight got canceled in Ireland, and then Stipe chose to fight somebody else, and then it was a whole kerfuffle over some nonsense. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to go Ben Rothwell stops Barnett. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to go Ben Rothwell stops Barnett with a knockout or something. I know it's probably going to be the other way, but, I think Rothwell, and if he does that, I don't see any reason why they can't match, either make him the #1 contender besides Stipe, or set him up to be the next in line after Kane, Anyway, okay, now we're moving on to Rumble Johnson is taking on Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader knows how to win. He's got great wrestling. He was out of Arizona State. He was there with Kane and, Aaron Simpson and all those guys, great wrestlers. Anthony Johnson is a junior college All-American, or a junior college national champion, sorry. But we don't really worry about Anthony Johnson's wrestling. You worry about his power. Now, while Ryan Bader does know how to win, I think Anthony Johnson stops him. With strikes to secure his place as the #1 contender. The fight that I want to see is Anthony Johnson and John Jones if John Jones doesn't go up to heavyweight. And if DC If DC gets injured or whatever, they're going to call Ryan Bader to fight John Jones. John Jones will probably duck him because you don't want to get kicked and punched by this man here. So that's going to be Ryan Bader, Anthony Johnson to get it done by KO. Okay, guys, that's my picks for UFC Fight Night. Rumble Johnson versus Ryan Bader. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, and, damn it. And leave a comment below. I do have a kind of a friendly, or not really a bet or anything, but one of my contemporaries on YouTube here. I believe his name is MMA Fight Predictions. His name is, yeah, MMA Fight Prediction. He's picking Ferreira to win, or Mercier to win. I'm picking Ferreira. Shout out to him. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, so please subscribe to my channel. I just started it. I'm not very good speaker, but you know, I try to make rational decisions and everything. Okay, guys, that's UFC on Fox, UFC Fight Night, Rumble Johnson versus Ryan Bader. Those are my picks. From the top down, I have Johnson, Big Ben. Oh, upset of the night will obviously be Barnett to beat Big Ben because he's most likely the favorite. But my upset of the night. And look for Ryan Bader to just make it very boring, wear him out, and grind out to decision. Everybody else is pretty much a lock for me. Mercier can win it. And Jake Ellenberger can catch Tarec Safety. Okay, guys, that's it for me. MMA Savant. Please leave your comments below, and I'm out.